Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Matt, and I'm one of the hosts over at Burnout Brighter. We're a channel dedicated to video games, mental health, and social justice. Our podcast just hit 100 episodes recently, and we're really proud of the content we make. You can find us doing reviews, previews, news, dev interviews, and a whole lot more at youtube.com/burnoutbrighter. We've been at it for 2 years now, which honestly just blows my mind. We started because we wanted to shine a positive spotlight on games, how they influence our mental health, and it grew into so much more. I struggle with my own mental health often, and gaming has always been an outlet to new worlds and new opportunities. Games matter, and the stories that they tell should be celebrated. You can also find me over at You, Me, and Capri, where I co-host the PlayStation Drive with Ryan Turford, a good friend of mine. We dive into PlayStation news and games every week, and do our best to keep you entertained while we do it. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a game that has stayed with me for almost 20 years. It's an incredible game with a dope card battling action combat system, deep characters, and a world that I lost myself in over and over. It was 2003, and I was 11 years old. I was all about my PlayStation, my GameCube, and my Game Boy, but once I found Mega Man Battle Network 3, it was all I could play. I'm still not really sure how I came across it. I can't remember if I saw the box art and it hit me at an EB Games, or if it was a gift that I got from someone, but I do remember booting it up for the first time and immediately being hooked. For anyone unaware, Mega Man Battle Network 3 is an action card battling RPG where you play as Lan Hikari, a grade schooler, and Mega Man.exe, his NetNavi. Battle Network takes place in 200X, where the internet has expanded into an integral part of life, as opposed to the original Mega Man where robots ruled. Society heavily depends on NetNavis, AIs that live in personal terminals, or PETs. They handle pretty much everything, have feelings and personalities, and can either be terrible weapons or incredible friends, depending on the hands that they live in. Gameplay is split between the real world, where Lan goes to school, on field trips, runs fetch quests, and spends time with his friends, and the internet, where Mega Man busts viruses, fights bosses, and can manipulate the real world in different ways. Battles take place on a 3x6 grid, where each side has 3x3 on their own. You'll slot different battle chips in on a load screen, go into battle to use them, dodge attacks, and pull up the screen again after a timer expires to slot in new chips. Defeating enemies rewards new chips and Zenny, the currency, and you strive to collect the best combination of chips to wreak havoc on enemies. Certain combination of chips will unlock super attacks, and there's so much going on in this battle system. It's fantastic. I completely lost myself in this game. The world is one that I still think about even today. Everything looks futuristic, but at the same time, resembles our own even today. Each new area you unlock and travel to just adds to the world building. And with Battle Network running for 6 games, some of which were split into 2 different versions, very Pokemon-esque, you got to see a whole lot of it. The graphics still look fantastic, as its pixelated art style still looks like something you'd see today. The battles were tense and fantastic, and they really let you play the way that you wanted. You want to sit back and pepper enemies with cannons, get in close and slice them up with swords, or a mixture of both. Figuring out what to take into each round was always tense and so much fun. But all that aside, the biggest thing that stays with me about this game is its characters and its story. Lan is your traditional anime protagonist in the best way. He's headstrong, confident, and is always looking out for the people he cares about. He's not one to back down from a fight, but at the same time is always pushed ahead by doing the right thing. His heart is constantly on his sleeve in the best way possible, and as someone who grew up idolizing anime protagonists like Tai, Yugi, and Ash, Lan fits in perfectly as a contemporary. Mega Man is a fantastic companion as he tries to keep Lan in check, but always supports him with every step. He'll try and get Lan to do his homework and to study, even when Lan would rather sleep in. Their relationship is sweet and honest, caring and strong, and is the most fundamental part of Battle Network. Without spoiling anything, their arc over the course of Battle Network 3, and really over the whole series, is incredible to witness. 3 in particular puts them in a tournament as they compete together to be the best, before Dr. Wily and World 3 show up to make everything a whole lot worse. The end of the game is still one that I think about. I remember crying over my Game Boy Advance SP under the covers, staying up way too late on school nights multiple times with this game. His friends and his classmates, along with their NetNavis, are highlights as well. Chowd is a fantastic rival, and with Proto Man in tow, constantly challenges Lan and Mega Man to be better. Meilu and Roll are always by their side, offering support and care even when they don't take care of themselves. Yai, Glide, Dex, and Gutsman round out the main cast and all have fantastic character arcs. Their camaraderie and friendship is ever present, and as a kid, was the kind of group friendship I always strived for and was lucky to find. That's the other thing about Battle Network. As much as I love the sense of friendship in the game, it led me to closer relationships in my own life. I remember my younger brothers also getting the game, which led to many arguments as to who had the better chip deck. We also got the alternate versions of the game, as it came in blue and white. I rocked white while my brothers both had blue, and I was so jealous later on. Sure, we could trade chips that maybe we didn't have in each other's games, but Mega Man Battle Network 3 has styles that modify Mega Man's appearance and changed his base abilities. You'd get both a style and element together. Heat Guts style, for example, would give him fire shots while also incorporating a Gatling gun style shot. You'd have to try and balance out, which style do I want? Which one looks the coolest? What are the pros of this one? What are the cons of this other one? Mixing and matching these was always a great time. Each edition of the game also had unique styles. White had ground style, which was cool enough, but blue had shadow style, and it made Mega look like a ninja. The look was so dope, and I was always so jealous that I couldn't get that style. The community aspect also bled over into friendships. I remember my cousin coming over, seeing me play it, and begging his parents to get it for him too. We went camping together a few weeks later, and I still remember all of us, my cousin and brothers included, being huddled in the campground bathroom, Game Boy Advance SP chargers plugged into the only outlets that we could find. The other port had a link cable shoved in as we battled over and over again. I remember hiding under blankets late at night, staying up way too late. I remember hiding under jackets in the car, trying to fight off my motion sickness while trying to continue to exist in that world, even on a short trip to the grocery store. I had a good friend of mine at school also pick up the game, and we'd sneak our Game Boys out at recess, which was a big no-no at the time. We'd find whatever corner of the playground where there were no teachers, analyzing patrol routes while trying to get some battles in. The sense of competition and friendship had us hooked when we came back together day after day, with styles and decks tweaked. It stays as one of my favorite multiplayer experiences. We still played with later entries, but not with the fervor that we rocked in Battle Network 3. Battle Network 3 is still probably my favorite entry in the series. The style changes, the story, who doesn't love a good tournament arc? The introduction of base to Battle Network lore, the massive improvement over 2. It just hits everything so well. After finishing 3, I immediately went back to 1 and 2, and those are both still great. The only other time I dove into an older entry of a franchise right away was with Persona 3 Portable after finishing Persona 4 Golden. I have so many happy memories playing this game. I recently made a list of my top games of all time, and it still sits as my second favorite game, narrowly edged out by Persona 4 Golden. In hindsight, this makes a lot of sense. Both games have turn-based mechanics, deep stories, and a focus on friendship and relationships. Mega Man Battle Network 3 is the first JRPG I remember playing, followed closely by Tales of Symphonia. It informed my gaming habits for the rest of my life so far, as JRPGs remain my favorite genre. Its characters and story are ones that stay with me even until now. I so badly wish that Capcom makes a remastered collection. While 1 and 2 haven't aged as gracefully with their mechanics, their stories are still fantastic. 3 onwards, I really do believe that all of those games can stand on their own even today. I remember coming across all of them in a small GameStop while on a trip with my family. I made deals with my parents, promises of chores and things that I would do for them to be able to own all 6 at the same time. I keep thinking of digging out my old SP to be able to play them again, but I would really love to play through all of them again on my Switch. Battle Network is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year and deserves another opportunity to shine. Please, Capcom, just bring it back some way, somehow. Just let us play those games again. It's such a special series, and 3 should be celebrated as one of the greats. If you ever get the opportunity, jump into the fantastic world of Mega Man Battle Network. Happy gaming.
Nostalgia is one of the strongest forces in the human psyche and is responsible for the continued existence of some of our favorite fandoms. From the minds behind the Dole Up in Dreams podcast and Isolation Cast Voices from Quarantine, Saturday Morning Confidential takes you on a deep dive into the properties that helped influence the artists and creators of today. So whether you are a Goonie, a Gym Girl, a Digi-Destined, or you just want to return to Oz, new episodes release on Fridays bi-weekly starting January 1st of 2021, and join us on the Wednesdays after the main show for the Serial Killer Radio Hour, where we sit down with the people responsible for the toys, shows, and fandoms that you love. Now you can find Saturday Morning Confidential at certainpov.com/SMCpod or on your favorite podcast platforms. So don't forget to tune in for another deep dive into the files of Saturday Morning Confidential.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.